I haven't run into a person yet that really didn't like the PlayStation reveal. I thought most people at least thought that the exclusive portions were actually pretty well done and got people excited about the platform, which is obviously the main goal when you do something like that. It's all about hype. And again, Sony is pretty much used to that, because if you remember this current generation, they would do all kinds of hype, and their E3s were entitled Dreams and Dreams 2, because they would show off games that people thought that they would never do. The Final Fantasy VII remake and Shenmue 3. Obviously, you see stuff like that, and The Last Guardian was another game that actually got announced and had a release date and all that kind of stuff. So they're very good at getting people hyped. And yeah, they'll show some games that are a little bit further out, but Sony's very own Jim Ryan actually had some very interesting things to say about the exclusives on the PlayStation 5, and I think everybody's going to want to hear it. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with yet another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It really helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. With that being said, I kind of want to jump into it, because Jim Ryan, and I already kind of covered this, he said that there's a lot more exciting PS5 reveals coming soon, but also address the exclusivities and how important they are for next generation. And he isn't the only one, because there's also other people at Sony, like their European branch, that were talking about the role of exclusives, saying they're more important than ever. But Ryan actually was talking about the role that exclusives will play now. They kind of bridge the platforms, and how it seems to be getting smaller. And he talked about how the PS5 and why the PS5 looks like something you'd find in a furniture section of a store, apparently, quote unquote, by the way. Again, the design, he was asked why they chose something like into a furniture store, and Jim Ryan mentioned, and I quote, "The PlayStation sits in the living room area of most homes, and we kind of felt that it'd be nice to provide a design that would really grace most living areas. That's what we tried to do, and we think we've been successful in that." Obviously, it's been a little bit, in terms of the design of the PS5, it's been a little bit controversial. Some people really like it. I really like it. I think it looks very much like a futuristic piece of technology. Like, if you were to ask me what a gaming console looked like in 2020, that's probably something that I would have envisioned, and I think that it does look good. And again, people really kind of complained about the noise factor of the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro. So this is something that really kind of comes out and addresses those issues, and I'm very happy to see that, and it is kind of weird to see so many people kind of just worried about the looks of something, when I think actually it looks pretty darn stylish, and I think they did a pretty good job with it. Obviously the memes and stuff, but that's not to say that the Xbox Series X memes didn't happen. Again, it's made that way. They've already confirmed that it's made that way to alleviate the noise and any kind of heat and things like that. So that's very, very cool. So anyway, in terms of the exclusives, obviously, it's one of those things that exclusives are going to be the most important thing. Again, to me, it's one of the reasons why you buy these consoles over the other. I bought an Xbox One for the exclusives. I bought an Xbox 360 when I saw Gears of War, obviously for the exclusives. And it always comes down to that for most people. And just kind of looking back, I think that it makes a lot of sense that people kind of realize, hey, exclusives really do matter. Obviously, they're talking about, Ryan mentioned it well, in terms of adapting the quality over quantity mentality for their exclusives. And he says, and I quote, "Exclusive games are obviously one point of difference between our system and others, but I really call out the criteria of quality rather than necessarily exclusivity. And when I look at our worldwide studio, it's really the quality of the work that they produce that counts." And I really think that he's right with that. And the main reason why I say that he's right is because if you look at the exclusives, you can probably, I'm not sure who's come out with more exclusives, obviously probably maybe Sony, but if you look at what Microsoft has done, they've come out with some stuff, but the quality just wasn't there. It just didn't match up. It wasn't favorable quality, and it was like this generation saw a unusual amount of delays by Sony and Microsoft. So a good example of that is recently, right? So Ghost of Tsushima, we don't know how that turned out yet, but The Last of Us 2 got delayed, and it scored a 96 on Metacritic, okay? Even going back, I believe Horizon Zero Dawn, that was delayed. I think God of War might have been delayed. Spider-Man got delayed. You're talking about games with 90s and high 80s Metacritic scores. Then you look at Microsoft, and you see some of the delays that they had, and it was like State of Decay 2 got a big delay, but guess what? That's only a 68 or 69 or something, 66. And then Sea of Thieves got delayed. That's a 69. So Crackdown 3 got delayed multiple times, and I think that might be a 59 rated game or 60 rated game. So just because, a game gets delayed, I think there's a difference in the quality that the end product ended up being, and thankfully with Sony, all these delays kind of led to a better product as the end result for all of us, and I really enjoy that, and I really think that that's something that's special and really kind of separates what they do from everybody else in terms of exclusives. And and I think that it's pretty obvious that both Nintendo and Sony really do a good job with the exclusives, but at the end of the day, I think that it really also matters that they obviously have the fans in mind as well, because without the fans and without the idea that they're trying to build things up for us fans and trying to make things better for us, I think that it kind of fails and falls on deaf ears to begin with. Obviously, exclusives are going to want to make us make that initial purchase, and so Sony's like, hey, and they confirm that too, that stuff like the new Horizon game is going to be within the launch year, and all the stuff that they showed within the launch year, and I think that really is something impressive and something that we haven't really seen that much of before. So it's nice to see that they're going to go out there and say not only, hey, these games are coming soon, but you can expect the quality to still be there, and I really, really like that aspect of video games and stuff like that. So for me personally, I am very, very happy that Sony is on board with giving us the quality of games that we got, not necessarily the quantity. Anybody could come out with 10 exclusives a year or 12 exclusives a year, but what would the quality be like? And I think that's really what differentiates Sony from everybody else, and I'm really looking forward to seeing kind of what they have to offer in the future. I'm very excited by what we saw, and even on the Microsoft side, and I've been on record of saying this, that I feel like their event is going to be incredible, and I don't say that with hyperbole or anything like that. I really do think that their July first-party event is going to be one for the ages, and not just from things that I've heard, which I have heard some things, but for the main reason just being is Microsoft literally gave up on this generation in 2015. I mean, just look, they closed studios, they canceled games. There was never a new AAA IP announced after 2015. Realistically, they've been saving up and gearing up for next generation since 2015, and we're almost in 2021. So, again, 5.5, almost 6 years they've been waiting and gearing up for this next generation. By all rights, they should literally have so much stuff that it takes hours and hours to really showcase it all, and I do think that they're going to have to deliver, and obviously people are going to be kind of show it to us. I think that that's the way it goes. In terms of what I am, I'm done with the whole wait till whenever. It's all about, hey, show me the games. It's way past time when we had a bunch of game reveals and things like that from Microsoft. Basically, like I said, just giving up. A lot of people aren't going to be happy though, either way. And for me personally, they can sell me an Xbox Series X with a really, really solid showcase, and if they manage to do that, hey, anything can happen. And I don't think that of course everybody's going to go, well, you flip-flopped a little bit, didn't you? Well, I don't think so. If I've been after exclusives and said exclusives are the reason why I buy these things, well, if they come out with exclusives and I get it, isn't that just me keeping my word? I think that that's more along the lines of what that is. And when I was a big Xbox fanboy, I didn't really realize the difference of the exclusives and the quality, but now I can totally see kind of what like Jim Ryan is talking about here, and I have to agree 100%. The quality difference between their games is just unreal. I mean, you just look at it, it's like The Last of Us 2 is coming out, and then you got Grounded coming out for Xbox, and that's like going to be an unfinished game, little passion project, quote unquote. And the last few games that they've come out with haven't been really that good in terms of Grounded and then Bleeding Edge. Like, these games just haven't been very good lately, and so I think that's been the difference, where Sony's had really a stellar year in terms of the exclusives, timed exclusives, first party, second party, third party, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm very interested to see sort of where this all leads and exactly how it plays off for Microsoft and Sony. It should be a healthy competition, though. I think that that's going to be you know, something incredible to see, and I'm looking forward to hearing all the reactions and things like that. So I would love your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. I will definitely you know, appreciate any kind of comments in here. Hit me up on Twitter at @the_Crapgamer, Xbox Live MOH space Crapgamer, or PSN just Crapgamer. As always, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, happy, healthy. Rack 'em up, game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.